Welcome to the Perlo Podcast. We talk construction, its people, its challenges, its opportunities. We're here today to unpack a couple of common terms in the construction industry, and we're talking about how a property owner can procure a general contractor to work on their project. There's really a couple different broad options, and we're not going to get too much into some of the nuances, but when an owner decides that they want to build a building or renovate their space, they have to decide how they're going to pick which general contractor to use. And in broad terms, there is hard bid, which is where they select several contractors and ask them to give them their best price based on a set of documents. And the second option is to do more of a negotiated strategy where they work with one specific contractor to come up with their price and complete their work. So the broad terms are hard bidding and negotiated, and we're going to talk and compare and contrast a little more about those today. So in an effort to talk a little more about them, let's focus on them individually, and then we'll compare and contrast as we go. So Chris, do you want to talk to us more about what does it mean to hard bid a project?
Yes, so with a hard bid project, the main situation is that you need all of the documents 100% done. The design needs to be 100% complete. The civil design, the architectural design, the structural, landscaping, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection, all of those documents need to be done so you can solicit bids and get competitive subcontractor bids. It requires a much more defined scope as to what the scope of the project is. And then, so once the scope is defined, the project documents are done, the construction documents are complete, then an owner would need to select several general contractors to bid the project. So they need to find competent general contractors that are experienced in that type of work. And then traditionally there's a hard bid date and a time specific that it needs to be turned in. And then it is typically the selection is on the lowest cost or the lowest price submitted by a general contractor. And so the bidding deadline is usually high stress, down to the last minute, waiting for subcontractor bids to come in to get it assembled and out the door to the owner. It's a very, very high stress operation.
Yeah, and so that deadline comes and goes. You've either turned in your bid or not. And once the bids are turned in and an owner looks at it, they say, here's all my lineup from highest to lowest, and I'm going to pick the lowest cost. Typically, they pick the lowest cost, and that now you have hard bid your project.
Correct.
So Todd, talk to us about negotiating a project. What does that look like?
Yes. Well, the word negotiate comes into play right away. It's usually negotiating terms of a contract, which might include price, might include schedule, it might include scope, quality. It might also include individual team experience too. So with negotiating, there's usually a set of circumstances which lends itself to negotiating versus hard bid. Oftentimes, it's early in the process of a construction project. So a full set of documents may not be produced yet. A client could be still getting their arms around a construction budget for the project, and they also may be trying to understand the scope better and the constructability of it. So oftentimes that includes bringing your contractor in early as a partner. And so, most of a negotiated project can still be hard bid out, a large percentage of the overall negotiated price. That's because in negotiated projects, you still have the opportunity to hard bid out the subcontractors on the project. So, but there is really valuable information to be gained early in a process, and a contractor having them on board early and negotiating out their fee, their general conditions, and all of that information can be negotiated out early.
Visit us online at perlo.biz, subscribe to catch our future episodes, and join us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube to discuss all things construction. And finally, work hard, do what's right, and make it fun.